Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another one of my long-winded old videos. Today in the workshop we have a 2009 Ford, sometimes known as fixed or repaired daily, Transit with a 2.4 litre TDCI engine in it. This one here is very poorly. A chap bought it from Southampton, drove it down, got as far as Exeter, and the water pump decided it had no more, wasn't going to have any more of it. So he carried on, and unfortunately I think he got as far as Oakhampton, and she said nah, no more. So unfortunately it's cooked the head gasket. As a result, we've got no compression on two cylinders, and as soon as you turn it over it instantly pressurizes the cooling system. So the head gasket has gone very badly on it. So at this point I'm trying to decide how I approach this, whether I just rip the entire engine out and go from there, or whether I just pull the head off. But once I get into it I'll know, just make a decision from there. So for the minute I'll just switch to time lapse and you'll see which direction I decide to take. Well, a bit of a jump cut here folks. Unfortunately my time lapse camera has decided it's gone pig on me. So I'm just going to have to do another bit by bit job. So as you can see, I've got all the front end out here, radiator's gone, bumper's gone, etc. Got the front timing cover all off. Haven't spotted any obvious damage yet. It has had a new cam chain. Relatively recent years. The cam guide here. So yeah, as you can probably see, which isn't, there we go, it's now in focus, there's literally next to no wear on it. So something tells me that this van has had a cam chain for whatever reason, probably not that long ago. Other stuff I am going to have to do while I'm in here. The alternator is sounding rough as rats, so I'll get that down to my local alternator expert. He can sort that one out for me. I'll continue on with the strip and I'll update you with the next bit.
Stick a bunny in me pocket, I'll fetch the suitcase from the van. Cause if you want the westerns but you don't ask questions, then brother, I'm your man. Cause where it all comes from is a mystery. It's like the changing of the seasons and the tides of the sea. But here's the one what's driving me berserk. Why do only fools and horses work?
Well, hello again, ladies and germs. Obviously, as you see, I've got the head off now. I'm going to need myself a new cylinder head, because I've got a bit of a cracking issue going on here. I couldn't see any obvious tracking on the actual gasket itself, but it's quite clear, probably from the cracks in the head. That's probably where the pressure was getting into the water jacket. At the moment I can't see any evidence of any damage on the block anywhere. Obviously I need to clean all this up, try and have a better inspection of it all, but that's a job for in the morning, because it's about 10:30 in the evening here now, and I've just about had enough for the day. Someone here has had a bit of a go at this in the past. Nice piece of copper pipe bypass in the EGR cooler, so while I'm in here I think I'll be putting a new EGR heat exchanger on it, as I'm not having that, not if I'm keeping this van for any length of time. I mean, there's obviously whoever's had this prior to me getting my grubby mitts on it has been a bit of a bodge merchant, if I'm honest. Certain things like the water temperature probe there, that is not actually installed in the head and was dangling loose in behind the block. I mean, what use is it there? Just because they couldn't be bothered to change it because it is in a bit of a fiddly position. You know, it astounds me the laziness of some people out there. But I mean, if you're going to repair something, at least repair it blooming correctly. It annoys me sometimes. Other things, obviously, as I said earlier, the alternator is knackered, so I'll send that down to my friendly local repairman, get him to have a go at it. Probably just needs a few new bearings, a new one-way clutch, and possibly a brush pack. So hopefully he'll get that sorted out for me easily enough. I'll get a new idler for the fan belt, and hopefully probably other things I'll probably change while I'm here. I'll probably change the thermostat as a matter of course, possibly the thermostat housings. It looks a bit I'm not going to lie when I say it's all looking a bit chewy. That lovely cheap Chinese probably grade plastic that they use on stuff like that now. I don't want to even attempt to try and get that apart. It'll probably just explode if I can. Well, I'll just see how much one is and I'll go from there. But other than that, as I say, until I clean the block up I won't know what the situation is on that, but I suspect he'll probably be alright. It probably looks, because the head's aluminium, that's the bit that's going to have taken the brunt of the damage. So leave it there for tonight, and I'll see you. I'll speak to you when I next start again. Welcome back, ladies and germs. I've got what can only be described as an extraordinarily large pile of new parts ready for the Transit. So let's see if we can rebuild it and get some life out of it.
We've got some off-price crack ties, some miles and miles of carpet tiles, TVs, deep freeze and David Bowie LPs, pool games, gold chains, wuss names and header push, some Trevor Francis track suits from a mush in Shepherd's Bush. Push, 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 push. No income tax, no VAT, no money back, no guarantee. Black or white, rich or poor, we'll cut prices at a straw.
Well, just a little sit rep. I've done enough for today. Timing chain's all on, head's all in, bolted down nice and firmly. It all turns over nicely by hand, so it must mean I've got the timing right. So I will carry on with this in the morning. It's the moment of truth. Will it live? I'm always a bit worried about doing this after such a big rebuild. It lives! So what's it all about then? Why did I buy a Dirtygate Transit for 500 quid? Well, simple reason being, myself and my very good friend Tom, we are going on what was called the Banger Alley Challenge. The idea is you buy a vehicle for less than 500 quid and try and get yourself to somewhere ridiculous with it. In our case, it's Pompeii in Italy, a journey that's going to take a journey somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 miles from home to there, so probably about 3,500 to 4,000 miles by the time we come back. So obviously I bought this very large heap of a Transit for the princely sum of 500 British pounds. It's, as you can see from this video before it went into my workshop, it is not in great shape. Mechanically it was awful. It has had a beating. I mean, like this photo here, the prop shaft is bent. How someone's managed to bend the prop shaft, I don't know. The interior was gopping. It was what you would expect if you buy a van for 500 quid. So the idea was that we were going to do an only fools and horses scene. So obviously I needed to make the van yellow, and I chose to wrap it. Worst mistake I've ever made. If I'm truthful. If I was going to do it, if I'm going to do it again, I would definitely be respraying it. I've never wrapping a vehicle again in my life. It was awful stuff to work with. I don't know how the professionals do it. I'm going to leave them to it. I'm never doing it again. But either way, the result looked quite good anyway. By the time it was all wrapped and yellow, it looked properly yellow. And yeah, you would think it was not bad. I mean, let's say, what we're raising for is we're raising money for our favourite charity, the Porthleven Town Band. I mean, we're raising for what they call what's known as the training band and the band builders program. The band builders program, they teach youngsters anywhere from age sort of 6 upwards, providing they got their front teeth, how to be in the world of music, how to play music. We give them an instrument to play on and practice on, and give them the tuition. We've got more band builders than we've got instruments, so we need to raise some money for them to try and get them some new instruments. So anything you could give, that'd be brilliant. Thank you.